So who did
Big
you
time.
have to become to be able to do the thing and have the thing?
Yeah, absolutely. So I align totally with that. I tell my athletes and like the people I coach all the time that, and I remind myself of that. Is it's like, yeah, you have to become someone different in order to do the things that are going to get the things to have the things. Like that's just like you just have to. You can't like do it any backwards, like you said. So I I had to become someone, especially after my sports career, like that takes care. Like one has an amazing relationship with my creator. I'm a disciple of Christ, follower of Christ, all the above. Two, I have to become someone who loves my wife as I'm called to love my wife. Three, I have to become the person who loves my kids unconditionally, like our God loves us unconditionally. Like all the little things I've learned, all the failures I've had, every little thing, like God literally seamlessly put this perfectly in my life. Like helping athletes become
So good.
entrepreneurs,
Yep.
like it's literally like I literally get chills thinking about it because it's like I help these people step into new versions of themselves, stop being underpaid, undervalued, all of the above, and serve people at the highest level because they deserve so much. They put so much time and effort and energy into their thing, and they don't get. I mean, some UFC high-level guys and football players do, but majority do not. I'd say 80% don't, and most of them become broke after their career. 80% of them that are making millions, and it's just the reality of it. And so I think my why and like why it's so important to me and what keeps me motivated is one, God, because I know God has this plan for me. Like if He didn't, I wouldn't be doing it. I'd be doing something completely different.
Would you say that sport, like how you been, leading with your parents, that actually help you to be successful in in these days?
In entrepreneurship and
Yep.
business, oh, hands down, absolutely. Like it's funny on my webinar every single week. I typically am just like, and this is a thought that I had, like, because I've been an athlete entrepreneur. It feels like my whole life. But I was like, man, like the time, like when I played professional athletics as a professional beach volleyball player, like I had to give up everything. I was doing triple days. I was hiring a hypnosis coach to train my mind. I was hiring a physical coach so I could touch 11 foot and jump 40 inches in the air because I'm 6 foot. I hired like a mental coach, a body coach, like, and I was just like, I had a mentor in that was free. It was amazing. He literally guided my every day to get me to where I want to get to.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Brainwashed To Be Broke series. Today's guest is a disciplined husband, father, entrepreneur, and athlete living with purpose and leading with example. He helped athletes build both income and impact, showing them how to win beyond the field and create a life that's aligned with faith, family, and freedom. Super excited to have him here. Welcome to the show, Christian Honor. What's up, brother?
Thanks, Adam. So happy to be here, man. Happy Thursday. And yeah, we met each other in person a couple months ago. So super excited to be here. And that was at Funnel Hacking Live. So excited to nerd out on entrepreneurship.
So awesome. Very, very cool to have you here. We've been planning this interview for quite a bit actually. And we have,
We have,
busy life with kids. I completely get
holy cow,
that.
202 is insane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I'm super excited and super pumped that you made it, and we are here talking about some really cool stuff, about like and letting you share your greatness in a world of entrepreneurships. And but before, like, I have a bunch of questions for prepared for you, and before we dive into those topics, I would love to hear your story, and probably all of the listeners would love to hear your story. How did you get into entrepreneurship? What actually led you to start doing something like that? And or even like what type of script you've been handed when you actually
Mm.
when you've been on in your childhood basically.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So for me, man, like I grew up in a Christian homeschool household. Being homeschooled my whole life gave me this thing of like, I hate school. School sucks. Like, school is not fun. Like, I didn't like it personally at all. And so, like, I remember hiding my school books from my mom. I remember like, no, screw this. School sucks. And like, by the time I was like 11 or 12, I'm 30 now. So when I was like 11 or 12, that was probably like 2008, 2009. And I started going on the internet because I was like, all right, I'm going to learn. I'm like, school sucks, but like this whole internet thing looks awesome. And so I was like, how to make money online as a 12-year-old or as an 11-year-old. And like, I was literally searching on Yahoo Answers how to make money online because I was like, there's got to be something here. At like right after my schoolwork, I finished my schoolwork. I was like, I hate this. I'm done. Okay, cool. Now I can do what I want to do. And so I would like keep searching. I'd be like, how to make money online, how to make money online. And so I searched that for probably 3 months straight. And then I just kept like finding different things. I found these things called get paid to offers, like the surveys. It's called GPT sites, this thing called Cash Crate. And so I signed up for Cash Crate, and my first month I got like a real check. And I was like, no way, like this is crazy. Like it was like $150. But for me at 12, I was just like, this is insane. Like I could take this to the moon. And so I found this thing called Cash Crate, and what it was like you go on there and you get paid to take surveys, or you can refer people to go on and you make a percentage of their surveys. So for me, I was like, oh my gosh, like I think I'm just going to refer people. Like I got to figure out a way to just bring people in here, like bring people in, because I'm like, I'm not going to want to do these surveys all day long. Like, and at that time, my dad was trading time for money. My mom was staying at home. She was working at like 3 a.m., like just to make enough ends meet. So like my parents were just like, there's not enough money out there, like just working like crazy. And so for me, I was like, as a kid, I was like, how can I help? How can I make money? I'm 13 years old. Let me figure this out. So I'm going online, searching all these things, and $150 one month. Next month was like $300. And then I found a strategy of like, it was this thing on Firefox back then that you could go through a process for like 30 minutes or hour, whatever you did, and record it and then click play, and then it would do it again. Which was, I can't remember what it was called, but like what I would do is I would go on Craigslist and I would post stay-at-home moms make $10 a day or $10 an hour doing surveys and get paid and da 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 da. And I literally went to the top 25 things in Craigslist, recorded it, clicked play, and then had it go and do it for me. I would go play with my friends, and I would come back, and I'd have like $50. Like, yeah, like, I was like that passive income. I was like, what is this? Like, this is so cool. So like, I was like, I rigged the game. Like, this is insane. And so at that point, being 13, I'm like bringing my friends to Chick-fil-A. I'm inviting all my friends to be, and then I train them. I'd be like, hey, look, sign up under me. And then felt like an MLM. Sign up under me, and then I'm going to teach you how to do this Craigslist thing, and I'm going to give you this plugin that you can record it, and it's just passive income. And so like I kept building it, and the guy that like taught me some stuff along the way that like got me in it from Yahoo Answers, he's like, Christian, I found this new strategy, and I was like, awesome. He's like, it's cookie stuffing, and I was like, I didn't even know what that cookie stuffing was, and I was just like, all right, like I'm going to try this out. And as a kid, I had no idea. Like this kid was like 20, 25. He's like, whatever. I get banned like 2 months after that. And I'm like, no, it just sucks. All my money's gone. Like I used this new strategy, and this guy's like, I got scammed. And like they did not let me back in, and like it was such a bummer. And then after that, I just started to learn like how to build websites. And then like, I mean, that was when I was probably 13 and 15. I would go door to door. Hey, I have this amazing mobile website built for you, to a dentist, and be like, you want it for $250? And so I would go door to door and call them and do like reputation management with Google Maps. And like, I was just like, that's my new thing. I'm going to build websites. I'm going to do that for churches and like restaurants and places. And so I did that probably from the time I was like 13 to 15 after I got banned. I figured out WordPress. I figured out all that. And like, I was like doing SEO. I got certified by AdWords. I got like all of that. I was starting to run stuff. I think Facebook was starting to get around. So I was like, all right, how do I run ads here? And like, just like learning the whole digital marketing scheme from this whole survey site that just brought me into this world. And I was just like, I never want to get a job. Like, this is amazing. I can just work on my computer. I'm 13 years old, 15 years old. This is amazing. And so that's kind of where it all began for me. And then when I was like 15, my dad lost his job. And so I was like, Dad, let's start your own business. He does pools, swimming pools. And so my dad owns a swimming pool, or has done swimming pools since he was a kid. And in Arizona, it's so hot, so everyone has a swimming pool. So he cleans them, he like maintains them, all that. And so I was like, my dad got like laid off, and we were just like, what do we do? Like, what the heck? And I'm like, I acquired all these skills, SEO, building websites, all this stuff. I'm like, Dad, we got this. Like, and I remember we printed like we went to Vistaprint and printed like 500 flyers and got all these flyers, and we went door to door like, give my dad business. He needs business. We're going to go hungry. Like, I remember just like in our minivan, me and my two younger brothers like running and like handing these out and being like, oh, like sorry, my dad, he just lost his job. We need to eat. Like, we don't have any food. Like, da 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 da. And then I just like helped him build a presence online. And his business ever since then has been crushing. And he still has the business today. He has probably like 10, 15 employees. And him and I kind of built that. I built his online presence. He had no idea anything about that. He's just like, Christian, go ahead, YouTube University. Like, I'll pay for some college if you want to go and learn that, whatever. Like, but let's do it. Because we tried other people to hire people, and we got scammed by like Yelp and all these like Home Advisor and all these weird companies. So my dad's like, frick, let's have you just do it. And I'm like, let's do it. I'm so glad I learned this stuff. And so I got to apply that to my family and building the family business, which was cool. And then it kind of evolved from then after learning those skill sets and things like that. But that's kind of like my foundational, like my script was read like trade time for money, work really hard. My dad did that for a while, and then we lost a job. What the heck do we do? And like we all obviously, like my parents probably were a lot more entrepreneur minded than most families are, which was nice. But still, it was like trade time for money, work super hard. like all that. And so for me, the script was just like from being homeschooled, it's like I hate school. I want to learn how to make money on my own. I need to learn these skills that are going to get me paid, but like I I just didn't like other than just trying to do little things and going on YouTube. I didn't see any farther than that, and I got to a good place by the time I was 15, which is great. I helped my dad build a business, all that. But at that point, I was just like, I know I'm made for more. Like this is awesome. Like
Mhm.
entrepreneurship's where it's at. Like, and so that's kind of where it all kind of began for me.
Yeah, yeah. So amazing story. I love it so much. This is like, when you have this type of, calling or something that you want to do more, even like I want to bring to this point, like why why actually you felt like school and this type of system is not for you? Like why it happened for you? Like what was going on in
Yeah,
your
I think because it just felt like it was for everyone, and it was just like I feel
Ooh.
like I'm unique. Like I was like, man, like all these people that are unhappy and that, or maybe even love school, but like I know so many parents and people
Mhm.
that my friends know that like it didn't work for them. So I'm like, why would it work for me doing all the same things that all
Ooh,
these people
okay.
have done over and over
Mhm.
and over again? And it's like I think for me, I was just like, I love that I get to be homeschooled because I get to finish my school and be done with it. But I
Mhm.
like, if I were to go the school route, like, I would be there for 6, 8 hours and I wouldn't be able to make money online. I wouldn't be able to do this. So it was just like, I just knew I was meant for more and I knew I was a unique kid. And I knew I was like, I can't do what everyone else is doing. Like,
Mhm.
this is a scam. Like, this felt like a
Mhm.
scam. Even at a young age, I
Wow.
was just like, this whole like concept of just like learning these skills that aren't going to help me in life. Why would I do that? Like, what? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. And so and I just hated it. I was like, why do I have to learn about English and punctuation and all this? Why do I have to learn about these math equations? Like, yeah, I need to learn how like so I know to budget and stuff like that. But other than that, why the heck do I need to know this stuff? So I think at a young age, like I was already like a lot of the people say like college is a scam, school is a scam. Like I was just like, it's not gonna get me to where I want to get to, and it's just
Ooh.
like the
Mhm.
why is like I've seen it not work for so many other people,
Mhm.
and like why the heck would it work for me if it hasn't for so many other people and everybody else is already unhappy? So
Mhm.
why not try something different? Because there's so many incredible people that have laid out their own path. So it's like, why do I want to stick to the same path that is getting people like the fly hitting their
Mhm.
face into the screen and not just
Yeah.
keep doing that?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That's this is awesome. Um so when you said like that school won't get you where you want it to go, like what do you mean by that? Like
Yeah.
what does it mean? Like what is success actually like look like for you?
Yeah, I think at that age it was like I want to like I saw really high level entrepreneurs and people that had time freedom, had financial freedom,
Mhm.
could build the life that they wanted. So for me at that time, it was like success looked like being able to do what I want, where I want, when I want, because I was an athlete. And so I was like, I know I want to pursue athletics, and I know a job isn't going to let me train and do athletics. So it's like success looks like for me being able to portray and pursue the dream that I want, whatever. At that time, it was like baseball. I wanted to be a pro baseball player, but I was like,
Mhm.
I also don't want to rely on the money coming in from that. I just want to be able to be the baseball player and play the sport that I love. I ended up playing pro beach volleyball instead, which
Mhm.
made sense because there's no money in that. There is money in MLB. If I went into MLB, I would have had to worry about it. But in beach volleyball, which was perfect fit for me, is it's like I knew for me success had to look like, and this is actually probably not how I thought of it then. It was like right when I graduated high school,
Mhm.
I got this book from John Wooden. John Wooden is like one of the biggest mentors in my life. He's a basketball coach, winningest basketball coach
Mhm.
ever in history,
Mhm.
UCLA, and his success is basically, I'm paraphrasing it, controlling what you can control. Putting in
Mhm.
the effort for the things that you can and that you can control. So for me, it was like, if I put in this work now, my parents are like stressed about money, stressed about this. I don't want that. Oh, this is chaos. If
Mhm.
I just, I'm 15, I'm 13. If I could just build this snowball, build these things, like I'm just going to be able to play the sports and do the things and have the freedom that I want. And so, like, for me at that time, that's kind of what it was, is just like seeing that my parents were struggling. And that was like a very it was hard on their marriage because they're just working and working and working and working and working. And so I saw that and I was just like, success doesn't look like this. It has to be so much more freedom. You have to just be able to like, what the heck? Like, and so that's kind of for me, it was just like I see a much different future than what I'm experiencing and seeing from my parents.
Mm. So at that time, you all like it. This is really like this is rare that you actually experience this type of feeling and like that you recognize that this pattern that is happening some like in your family basically, and that you don't want to like, in that age. It's this is like
Yeah,
this
the
is
young age is crazy. I don't even know how I was
it's
thinking that.
huge. I'm telling you because
Yeah.
like for me, I saw that also in my in my parents, like how I've been raised.
Hmm.
Three jobs, working super hard, couldn't see them. So raised by my grandparents most of the time. Literally, like I saw them most of the time during the weekends, and
Wow.
that was like the thing that actually like made me to do something differently. But I didn't realize it until I finished like my
Mm,
my studying. So it was my like 18th, 18 or 19, and that time I moved to England, and that was the shift that I tried to start making something differently, that I saw how I going to end up the
yeah.
same way as they did, right? So this is really rare how you actually like that you saw the pattern and start to changing it. And I really see also that how you like you are super resourceful, like you
Mm,
just figure out whatever it takes to actually make it work. But you also mentioned that you are athlete. So where did that
mm.
started?
Yeah, so that started when I was freaking 4 or 5 years old. My dad played baseball, and I was like, I'm gonna play baseball like my dad. He's my superhero. Like he didn't go pro, he went college, but I'm gonna go pro. And so like from the time I was probably like 5 to 13 to 15, I would play baseball, basketball, and golf. Those are
Mm-hmm.
kind of my three sports that I would just play. And my dad
Right.
loved golf too, and so we would play golf all the time, and then basketball as well. And so, yeah, that started at a super young age. My parents were just like, sports, sports, sports. You're not going to school like everyone else is.
Yeah.
So, sports, 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 to get you involved in the community. Make sure you're not a weirdo homeschooler. Make sure you can communicate. Make sure you're not a social like retard or whatever that is. They're probably like, all right, Christian, like we got to set you in somewhere. So they put me into that at a pretty young age, which I think just gave me a lot of discipline, work ethic, and just like
Mm-hmm.
that teamwork atmosphere and yeah, being resourceful. It's like I'm gonna go on YouTube to figure out how I can throw faster than this other kid. Like, how do I do it? Oh, okay, I need to do some workouts and like
Mm-hmm.
boom, like I'll just like try to figure that out. So that's kind of where that started, and then it ended up being finding professional beach volleyball, pursuing the dream that way, and that kind of thing. After I played those other sports growing up.
Mm-hmm. Would you say that sport, like how you been, leading with your parents, that actually help you to be successful in like in these days?
In
Like,
entrepreneurship and
yeah.
business, oh,
Mm-hmm.
hands down, absolutely. Like, it's funny on my webinar every single week. I typically am just like, and this is a thought that I had, like, because I've been an athlete entrepreneur, it feels like my whole life. But I was like, man, like the time, like when I played professional athletics as a professional beach volleyball player, like I had to give up everything. I was doing triple days. I was hiring a hypnosis coach to train my mind. I was hiring a physical coach so I could touch 11 foot and jump 40 inches in the air because I'm 6 foot. I hired like a mental coach, a body coach, like, and I was just like, I had a mentor in that was free. It was amazing. He literally guided my every day to get me to where I want to get to. It was amazing. His name's Scott, really good guy. And so I always felt like, man, if I could put that same time, effort, energy, work ethic, discipline,
Mm-hmm.
everything that I did to be able to become, I was like the top 30 in the states at my highest level, and I would play overseas and play in all these different countries. And like I did that for 4 or 5 years of every day, off season, on season, off season, on season, and like it never stopped. And so that discipline that I learned from that, I'm just like, if I could put that same effort into my business and entrepreneurship, I would be a multi-millionaire. So I really think that like all those skills, like the mindset training I had to do, the physical training, like all those things apply so seamlessly into
Mm-hmm.
business. Because I think like, I mean, CEOs and entrepreneurs wish they had the skills and could handle pressure and don't quit and like have that work ethic that athletes have. Like, because it's just crazy. Like you do crazy things when you're an athlete and you do crazy things when you're an entrepreneur too. But like I know for me, like that work ethic and that like it was so congruent. And I was just like, if I could just put that same time, effort, and energy and have the same visions and do the same structure and everything that I had in athletics of being my best there, let me apply that into business. So yes, I see that applying every single day for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. So are you saying that business and like being a really like professional athlete is it's really similar to like to each other?
So similar. So similar. It's like business, entrepreneurship. We have to, one, step into a new world in business. to become our best self, to get out of the world, let go of one part and get to another. In the same way in athletics, you have to rid yourself and then become a new person. And then you have to like mindset foundational, and then you have to acquire the skill sets in
Mhm.
athletics. Say I'm playing golf, I have to have a sharp mental capacity for 4 hours to shoot around. I have to have an amazing swing. I have to be able to, I have to acquire putting skills, like skill acquisition. And that's funny, I just bought the domain skill acquisition. I spent a lot of money on it, but launch to that, skillacquisition.com. But it aligns so well with athletics because or in business because we have to learn sales, communication, we have to learn like how to get leads and market, and we have to figure out how to create a product or an offer. And it's like those are skills we have to acquire, just like all the skills these pro basketball players, MMA fighters, like all these people have to acquire. So it's a game of acquiring skill sets and having the mindset so that those skill sets make a difference, and having a vision so it align. Like to me, it's like those things align so seamlessly.
So good, so good. I see the game like basically entrepreneurship as a game kind of thing. Like it's
Yeah.
literally like how it is. But I love like when I'm going to principles in business and especially like like on the like yeah, especially in like principles in business, which is come to like be do have those type of free principle level, I would like say like it's just the principles, right? So we all know that most of the people are having it from the wrong side. They're starting with the have instead of being, right? So who did
Big time.
you have to become to be able to do the thing and have the thing?
Yeah, absolutely. So I align totally with that. I tell my athletes and like the people I coach all the time that, and I remind myself of that. Is it's like, yeah, you have to become someone different in order to do the things that are going to get the things to have the things. Like that's just like you just have to. You can't like do it any backwards, like you said. So I I had to become someone, especially after my sports career, like that takes care. Like one has an amazing relationship with my creator. I'm a disciple of Christ, follower of Christ, all the above. Two, I have to become someone who loves my wife as I'm called to love my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Three, I have to become the person who loves my kids unconditionally, like our God loves us unconditionally. And then in business, I had to become someone because like I didn't go too much into it, but like the transition of like from 15 to like 18, I learned like the skill set of high ticket closing and like doing webinars. And we did like $100,000 webinar and I got 20% of that. And that was massive at 17 or whatever it was at that time. So that time I was like the behind the scenes guy.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward now, I have to become someone worth leading,
Mm-hmm.
worth following, someone like a leader worth following. I
Yeah.
had to become someone who is willing to put himself out there, not just be the behind the scenes guy closing deals and marketing and da 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 da. I had to become someone different that did things differently each and every day, like operated as a CEO and operated as a leader and operated. And I'm still becoming that person. I'm hired. I have like 3 or 4 appointment setters now and different people involved. And it's like, holy cow, now I have to become someone different in order to scale to here. And so it's like, it's literally always, but like to the point here, I feel like it's just becoming another version of myself in the leading,
Mm-hmm.
in the like speaking and articulating myself and studying the things and acquiring the skill sets and investing a lot. So it's like that's who I had to become, someone who invests in myself, someone who goes all in on myself, someone who is an entrepreneur and is ridding all these other side gigs that I once had to maybe feel like, oh, I can go 50% on my business and 50% on selling for other people, whatever. Like I had to become someone that's like, no, I'm all in on my own business. I can help provide for other people. And this is what God's calling me to do. So I would say just a lot of different things. And I feel like it's always evolving.
Yeah, yeah, so good. And this is so true also because I love to look at becoming as there is not a destination.
Yep, for
The
sure. We'll
journey
never
is
arrive.
the journey is the
Yep.
destination
Mm-hmm.
because you're becoming all the time. Because when
Yep.
you basically, if you would put it into like a kind of like circle where you have like you can the maximum potential of yours and the minimum potential of yours, you are basically like I love like how Myron Golden teach that. You basically like we are like on 10% at this level and we feel like we are in 80%, right? Or feels like we are in the level of 80%. And But when you start becoming, and becoming becomes like how to become, but like more, you're going to become more by intentionality, right? You have to be intentional about everything what you do to actually realize those type of things. So, but when you're
Hmm.
becoming, the capacity is growing also. So if you
Totally.
become more, the whole bubble actually getting bigger. So it's like
Hmm.
never ending journey. You just
For
all the
sure.
time becoming, and this is so beautiful in that because I love it so much. Like you, and this like it also feeling, it's anyway, that is like that is a conversation for a different day, but
For
I'm
sure.
studying this into deep level. And
For sure.
it was it's so awesome, like when you're coming to Jesus and so on, why Jesus actually, what is the, like what Jesus wants us, like what we
Mm.
supposed to do here, or like the whole purpose of what, like what he, why he brought us in on the planet is to be more all the time, becoming more.
Yep. Yep. For sure.
And he gave us the, like the feeling of wanting more something. We want more something,
Definitely.
but how you gonna get
It
it?
gives us
You
the
have,
desires of our heart. Amen. Yep.
right,
Absolutely.
right.
Yep.
And we
Hmm.
have to, to become, to have more, you have to do more, and to do more you have to become more. And that's the thing that actually makes the God, like that's the purpose of why, what he wants for us. He wants to, that we're going to become. He doesn't care if we're gonna have more things, or
Nope.
do more things. He wants us to be more all the time, and growing, and raising, and be better person, and shine more, and be like, helping more people, and so on. So it's just so beautiful to see that. But
Yeah. I love
you
that.
know um I like, when you, um what drives you actually, like in a deeper level, to like be every day so, like so disciplined and driven, and be able to, like be out there helping people, and just changing lives. What is the driving force for you?
Yeah, I think one, I feel extremely empowered by God to do this. Like, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like everything that I've done up until this point has prepared me for this,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
all the little things I've learned, all the failures I've had, every little thing, like, God literally seamlessly put this perfectly in my life. Like, helping athletes become
So good.
entrepreneurs, like,
Yep.
it's literally like, I literally get chills thinking about it because it's like, I help these people step into new versions of themselves, stop being underpaid, undervalued, all of the above, and serve people at the highest level because they deserve so much. They put so much time and effort and energy into their thing, and they don't get. I mean, some UFC high level guys and football players do, but majority do not. I'd say 80% don't, and most of them become broke after their career. 80% of them that are making millions, and it's just the reality of it. And so I think my why and like why it's so important to me and what keeps me motivated is one God because I know God has this plan for me. Like if he didn't, I wouldn't be doing it. I'd be doing something completely different. So one, that, two, my wife and my kids, like so much. Like I want to show them that not only God created me to make a difference in this world and contribute to society, because I feel like I have that moral obligation from God, but like I want to be that example for them because they're gonna have incredible gifts and skill sets that they have, so that they're like, oh my gosh, I see dad like pursuing, doing whatever it takes to help his people. How do I figure out who are my people? Who are the people that I feel called and the gifts that God's given me to go out and help? So I'd see that. And then not only like me and my athletic experience, like how much of a struggle that was
Mm-hmm.
to make a living and get paid and to be able to play my sport. Like I remember the struggles. I remember having to Uber eat in between practices because I wasn't doing entrepreneurship and I was just like, I'm sleeping in my car and I'm sleeping on the beach. And like I remember those nights like and knowing that I had so much more to offer and I just didn't know how to make it happen at times. So I remember myself there. And I think the people that I've already helped, I've developed a relationship with them, and I think that's always an extension of that. When I get to talk to them pretty regularly, and they're like, Christian, like if I didn't go through this program, like I freaking don't know what I'd be doing. I'd be stuck here. I'd be stuck here. So I'd say God number one, family next, and then myself in this position that my people are at, and then now my people that I've actually helped actually get results. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
So
that's
that's the
kind of my why.
driven, that's what drives you, like that's the reason why you're doing
That
what
wakes me up at night. That keeps me
you.
up at night, all the above, just
So
because
good.
it's like God's called me to. My family's watching me. I struggled in the same spot. How could I help more people? And I've seen myself help more people. So why not keep helping more people? So it's like kind of like all those things
Yeah,
in sequence.
yeah, yeah. Have you, when you started your family, did you have already like business going on your side, or have you been still building?
Good, very good question. So that was like when I invested in get paid, be free, was like right when I started my family, and it was a scary thing. I was working a 9 to 5 job, not making the money that I wanted to make, not making the impact I want to make. I was doing brain performance for like firemen, police officers, all that stuff. But yeah, no, at that point I was doing some stuff on my like on the side, but it was not full in like it's been like it's progressed to over the last 2 years. But yeah, 2 years ago when I got married, I was like, crap, what am I gonna do? Like I'm gonna work a job and I'm never gonna see my kids. This sucks. Like, and then I just had enough pain to get out of that situation and investing in coaches, investing in a lot of stuff. And so yeah, no, I did not have all that stuff flourishing then. I wish I did, but I definitely didn't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For like when I been like how I the way that I've been raised, for me is I want to be present so
Yep,
much.
for
Like
sure. Yep.
is like this is like one of the biggest thing for me. Like I want to be present for my kids. I want to be there. I want to support them every way possible. What they
Yep.
anything what they want. I want to like basically allow them or support them um
Yep.
with my time, with money, with whatever it takes, right? But
Totally.
also we like the thing is for me, we had like really great conversation with actually like yesterday on a call with Josh, just bringing
Mm-hmm.
it up here.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting to see like that some people like to be actually able to have success in a business, you have to have like there are two things that are involved in it. Your personal life either has to be in totally like in alignment, or like you have to have
You
a
have to have that
structure,
structure.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or and you have to and when like to have a better results or like do the thing that is necessary and be creative and so on, you have to have a chaos in business to be able to do that, right? It has to be
Mm-hmm.
kind of chaotic because that's the creative zone, right?
Totally.
And I think it was a really great point yesterday what he brought out,
Mm-hmm.
because it was like I completely see like how this been affecting my journey so much,
Yep.
like because I've been always trying to have structures in every place,
Yep. For
right?
sure.
So I couldn't
Yep.
be myself when I've been actually doing a business or but he said something that like literally there was a deep conversation with one of the participant, and she said that like she's unable to have a structure in her life to be able to have a chaos in a business because her life, and she likes the life somehow some way, to be chaotic kind of thing. And
Yep.
then he brought that there are people like, for example, like Alex Hormozy or Aileen Wilder, or people like, hugely successful people, and they
Mm-hmm.
are having this type of things also like in their life. For example, Aileen Wilder, he said that I think that was her, that she has a chaos in her life kind of thing. Like she not like a huge chaos, but she's still living like from like she has no structure in it. But
Mm-hmm.
for example, Alex Hormozy, he is the person that he is basically he's able to sacrifice his relationship kind of thing, his time to actually do whatever it takes to make the business successful,
Yep.
right? And
Totally.
this is crazy. Like I'm the thing is when what I wanted to bring the point is that I love my family and everything. I would do forever, like like I would like do
Whatever
anything
it
for them,
takes.
be present and so on. But I'm kind of the way that if it's needed, I'm going to do more for others than like I'm kind of like similar, really similar to Alex Hormozy. I don't know why,
Mm-hmm.
why he said that. I saw like, wow, okay, and that brings me to the point that me and my girlfriend, we were starting out, and I had the shift of like going to entrepreneurship, and she'd been still in a corporate job, and I don't know how
Yep.
you handled it.
Yep.
But we as entrepreneurs really like easily messing up our relationships
Oh,
with
for
our
sure.
closer
Yeah,
people.
definitely. Yeah, we
So
prioritize that or one or the other. Yep, for
yeah,
sure.
so what is like how you handle maybe it's gonna be a little bit different for you because you already probably you've been kind of already business driven, like resourceful and so on. Like you've been your mindset was completely little bit different than normally. So
Yeah.
how was your like when you actually jump into entrepreneurship? Did you have like already you've been how long you married and like or like when you starting a business have you been married already or you've been like
Yeah.
it yeah okay
Yeah, so it's funny. It's kind of like I feel like my life has ebbed and flowed. Like I went entrepreneur route, and then I went all in on that, and then I was like, oh, I should just get a job, and then I get a job, and then I go back to entrepreneur. That's kind of how it's been. And then
mm-hmm,
when I got married, I was working on my own business
mm-hmm,
and working a job,
yeah
and then probably only the last year and a half have I been going all in on my
uh-huh,
own thing
mm-hmm,
and having the freedom, like you're talking. Like I feel
mm-hmm,
so blessed, dude. Like I have 2 or 3 calls a day, maybe max,
mm-hmm,
and I get to spend every moment with my kids. Like my
mm-hmm,
11-month-old, I haven't missed like anything. And
yeah
my 2-year-old, nothing. Like more time than most people. And I get to spend time with my wife too, which is crazy. Most people are like, that's not real, you know? So it's like, it's crazy the life that we've built. But yeah, for the first year and a half, I was like in and out. And then now the last year and a half, kind of all in on my own
yeah
entrepreneur
yeah
thing.
yeah. And
Yeah,
like how your relationship, like have you had like struggles when you like did you have some type of shift when you actually jump into entrepreneurship for like full time and how
for
like
sure.
because for I don't know your wife, but for example my girlfriend, I've been grow like my capacity of how I've been thinking about certain things completely changed and everything like starts shifting in when I jump into entrepreneurship, right? But my girlfriend still been in this like in the corporate job where like
World, yep.
working like climbing the ladder, and there was
Yep.
a like moment where he had like super deep conversation and like we've been literally like on a way to our country to
Wow.
like
Yeah.
back to our country, and we had a
Mm-hmm.
conversation in a car and we turned around and just we everything after that long conversation everything shifted and we get back into the same like on the same track, and then
Alignment. Yeah.
alignment and it started working properly how it's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to. So for
Yep.
you when you did this type of shift, for example in
Yeah.
like from corporate to entrepreneurship, and you had somebody like else in your life that actually like isn't I don't know if your
It's
wife
not
is
just me.
yeah
Yeah,
yeah
yeah,
if your
exactly.
wife is
Yeah.
actually like entrepreneurship driven also, or like you know what I mean. So how's
Yeah,
it
for
this
sure.
whole been working for you?
Yeah, it's frick. I feel like I still, even I think I was on the call for yesterday too, but yeah, it's still like figuring out how I can prioritize the right things.
Mm-hmm,
Because it's so easy in business when we're just like make money, make impact, and we feel like that's truly our calling. So in the
mm-hmm,
beginning, I was going all in on that. I was on calls all the time, and like obviously my wife had to, deal with that with one kid, and then to an extent another kid that showed up. So it's definitely my wife is like all in on my entrepreneur stuff, which is super cool,
mm-hmm,
super supportive. She's a
mm-hmm,
stay-at-home mom. I don't really want her to have to work, which is great, but I definitely know at times I can prioritize the business and that stuff, which can get a little funky in the personal life, which is just really like realigning the priorities
mm-hmm,
and like, but it's daily. It's like for us, like having and like just we did it for a little while, like weekly meetings and like making sure like we're in alignment in the personal and business and knowing when like
mm-hmm,
she's gonna be with both the kids and I have a podcast or I have this or I have that. So it's like I think we're still in a phase of figuring that out, especially because we have a 10 or he'll be 11 months, but like the first year of a kid's life, it's so unpredictable. So like for the first 6 months of his life, he couldn't figure out sleep. So we were all like, I was like, I don't even sleep. I'm not even alive. Like, what is this? And my wife too. Like, we were just like, we are zombies. And then I'm like trying to figure out business in the day, but I'm just like, I don't even know what's going on. Like, so definitely like the first year was the hardest. And I think this last 6 months or so, it's kind of improved because we've found a little bit of more alignment, but I think
mm-hmm,
we still have a long way to go with like that whole business is chaos, figuring out some structure within that, but let
mm-hmm,
me be creative. And then personal life, having like, we have a meal prep, we have a cleaner, we have assistant, we have like
mm-hmm,
all these different things that are helping us like with the things that we need. But still, there's like, we need to get someone to help do our like laundry. Like, there's just like so much stuff. And like figuring out how to truly align those two things is frick. Just like the becoming thing. I feel like I have to become someone different in that
mm-hmm,
way
mm-hmm,
so that those things can be in more alignment because it's just hard because it's like when you feel truly called by God in your entrepreneur endeavor, you're still supposed to put God first and your wife first and your family first above that.
Mhm.
So for me, that's a really hard thing to do when I feel like my business is providing and this and that. And the man, this is what I had to do, like to
Mhm.
keep the lights on, to keep the roof over my head. So I think that's like it's hard. It's something that has been chaotic, and I think we'll continue to have its chaotic moments. But I think just for me, figuring out how to delegate better so that I can
Mhm.
focus on the things that I that really matter with my family and stuff, and really keep the priority to priority because I end up shifting stuff in my own head because I'm excited about a client or helping someone else, and I'm like, I have stuff here. Then this is the most important work with my family, you know.
Yeah,
So it's hard.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
for sure.
When you get into like when this all entrepreneurship, like your business start working,
Yeah.
what that actually like what it meant to you, like in a personal level, like what it meant to you that you finally figured it out, and like that you now going to be able to support your family on fully potential, what it meant to you, like truly.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, man. Like it was a complete world shift. I think it just meant to me that like I do have what it takes. I am valuable. I have a lot to offer in the world. Like I feel like I have had this expectation of myself because I started at such a young age that like I should be here, I should be
Hmm.
there, I should be at this point already. So I think I like had this expectation of myself, which was probably unhealthy, but when I got there, I was just like, oh my gosh, it was a lot harder. It was a lot more stressful. It was a lot more chaotic. It wasn't this perfect, pretty, amazing thing to get here. Like, it was so much harder than I expected, so much more difficult, so many more failures than I expected. Like, I didn't think it would be this difficult. I didn't think it would be this chaotic. I thought it would be smoother. But I think our mess becomes our message. So I think
Hmm.
that there's a reason
Yep.
that like I went through all that for a reason, but it meant, I mean, it meant the world to me. I was just like, God, I know you had this plan for me, but I just really had to wait for the timing of it. And I had to go through all this stuff in order to get to this point where you're like, I trust you with this, Christian. Now you can go and do this. So I think it's just like, man, like it completely was like, I don't have to live in this old world anymore. And I can really be the person that I feel called by God to be. And literally just identity shift and just
Hmm.
yeah, I feel so thankful and so much gratitude to be able to do that and not have to work for other people. And it's a long time coming and it's been freaking hard. So
Hmm.
I think those are the main things that it means to me. It's just it means the world, absolute world.
Yeah, yeah. What was the hardest part for you actually, like, of the becoming piece?
I think like believing in myself and
Ooh,
I
okay.
think yeah, believing in myself was big because I was just like, man, like I really like on paper, I know I can do this, but like showing up in that way of because if I'm not believing in myself, how the heck can my clients believe in themselves? Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so I think like the hardest part was probably the belief and shifting the thoughts, the patterns, the beliefs, like all that, like every day and shedding them and continuing to because like that's really when transformation happens and that's where things
Hmm.
can happen because we're all subconscious. We're going to keep doing the same things we do unless we really pause and have time to actually reformat or reprogram our brain. So I think the hardest thing was that process and I think it's been the whole journey, almost 2 decades. I feel like I've always been doing that. In the last 2 years, it's been a little rapidly because I had more tools to do that. But I think it's been like over the last 20 years, it's like reaffirming those beliefs and shifting those and like ridding myself of even my friends and the way my parents believe about money and what my friends believe about money and what success is to them and what success is to like just I think the hardest part was like ridding all that. And it's like every
Hmm.
day, like I still have things that come up with that, but I think it's
Hmm.
it's something that will never arrive, but I think the hardest thing is just like showing up as that new version of yourself and
Hmm.
still continue to do that day in day out with the belief, with the confidence, with the and the becoming is
Hmm.
definitely and has been the hardest part and the patience behind it because it's like
Ooh.
when I was 13 I was like I should be 15 and I should have $100,000 business because I'm freaking here. It's like what the heck, and then 15 years later I'm like all right.
I have a tattoo here, patience.
Oh yep, patience, yep, love it. It's hard. It's one of the fruits of the spirit. It's very hard,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure, yeah, very hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Dude.
awesome.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm telling you, yeah, patience is so like you, and resilience for sure also, like you have
Yep.
to stick with it because
Process over outcome, not even seeing the outcome or feeling the outcome, but
yeah,
being in the trenches and in the journey and being like, I feel like it's there and I feel like I'm gonna get there, but you don't know when you're gonna get there. Like, what? Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
for
Because
sure.
most people don't realize, I would say, most people don't realize that if you because you're not going to be able to do the thing until you become the person, right? That's what we said before. And once, like, if you start doing the thing and it didn't work for a couple of times, and you shift and you're gonna, like, hunt another shiny object, you won't start from the same spot that you like where you've been. You have to
Yep, you're
become
going back to ground
first.
zero. Yeah,
Exactly. You have to become first again to be able to do that because it requires different set of skills or different, like, something. It's completely different. And this is like what most
totally.
people don't understand. So they rather go
Mhm.
and shine, like going for shiny objects, and then they are just completely stuck and like overwhelmed, like completely,
There's so
like,
many things.
yeah.
There's so
So
many things to be
yeah,
trying. And like, yeah, you have
yeah,
20 pieces of pie out there. I struggle with that a lot. It's like, oh, what if I do drop shipping, SEO, this, that, podcast? Like, there's just so many things.
yeah.
Absolutely. And you're starting ground zero from all those and you're not making any moving the needle in any
So
area.
true. Yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I love
Totally.
that.
Well, um, I have a few more questions. Are you
Yeah.
good with the timing, or are
Yeah.
you ready? Yeah,
Yeah, we're good.
you're good.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
think my wife's putting the little one to bed, so she'll only have one, not two. So yeah, we're
Cool.
good.
All right. So, um, back to what we've been talking about, a like the self-worth, believing in yourself.
Yep.
I'm surprised actually that you had a struggle with that
Hmm.
because, like, as an athlete and being professional, I see
Yep.
people who are on that level. They are super, like, they believe in. They're super confident
Yeah, it's
because
almost like pride. They're like, oh,
yeah,
yeah, for
yeah,
sure. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
Because without
Yep.
that, I would say you are unable to actually succeed because there is like so much competition. I would say I
Hmm.
don't know if you believe in competition or not, but
For sure.
um, so, like, how did or why do you think that you had, or what is the reason why you had problem with confidence actually?
Yeah, I think because I it goes back to like I was in the shiny object syndrome for a lot of times and
Mhm,
like a lot of things failed. And so
mhm,
I believe that that was me versus just because I was doing trying to do too many things at once. So I think the little failures that I've had in entrepreneurship and not being where I expected myself to be brought a lot of those negative self-talk,
mhm,
self-doubt, imposter syndrome
mhm,
because I was throwing 25 things at the thing and this thing was doing a little bit, this thing was and it was just like it's still failing. But it's like you're doing 20 things at once, Christian. What do you expect? Like,
mhm,
but at that point, I think I just felt like I was failing a lot because I wasn't where I thought I should be
mhm.
in the timeline that I have in my head.
Yeah.
So that kind of brought a lot of that, like, do I have what it takes? Can I do this? Just because those experiences kind of molded my thought patterns and beliefs on that
Mhm,
front.
mhm.
Yeah.
It can become really, like, confusing because
Hmm.
at that, like, especially with with the confidence piece, because like, the number one rule, it, like, kind of like, for me it was, especially like when I started, it was that you have to take the ownership for your actions, right?
Yep.
Because if you don't, you won't be able to change anything because that's how, like, most people are stuck there because of that. They don't take ownership. They blame other people, or like, this is the system doesn't work, or government, and or whatever,
Yep.
right?
Outside your control. Yep.
Right. And then you jump into business, and then you test something and it didn't work. Same way, like, you basically experienced, right? And then the the way that you think about it is, it's my fault because I didn't work, right? Because that's like, it's all about me, right? Even like
Hmm.
everything is about you, right? So it
Hmm.
can get like confusing at that level. So
For sure.
what, like, how did you deal with this, like, being more confident in that? How did you work on that mindset, and shifting it? Because I think there are lots of people who are actually struggling with.
Yeah, I think for me, it was going back to a lot of the subconscious patterns that I like in a mental training that I learned in athletics of like brainwashing myself in the opposite way. So
Mhm.
like for me, I was just always conscious of like, yes, I feel this way. I know I feel like I failed here, but I think for me is it's like I know that doesn't determine my like forever. That doesn't mean
Mhm.
forever. That just means like just for now. And so and then I think a lot of people always telling me, "Oh, Christian, these people failed at this point and then they made it big here." And I think I always just was like knew that because in athletics, I'm like you're going to lose more than you win and then the wins are going to be that much greater.
Mhm.
And so I think for me I just had all these little beliefs of like I'm not going to quit. I know that for sure. Most people
Mhm.
will.
Mhm.
Two, I know that I have the tools to overcome these things, and they're
Mhm.
just roadblocks in the way. Obstacle is the way. Incredible book that I read. I think around a point where I really needed that to realize that like that is the way, and we are going to hit resistance. The war of art is another one that I think I studied at that point, and like started to understand that that is just resistance
Mhm.
keeping me from where I want to get to, and even the
It's like
Napoleon
data,
Hill
right?
outwitting the devil. Yeah, yeah,
It's
exactly, and
like
where it's
data.
like
Yeah.
yep, data. Yep, totally. Yep, absolutely. And so like no, having that data, but realizing that like, and I think the outwitting the devil, it talks about 99% of people being drifters,
Mhm.
and it's like because they have all these fears and all these things and all these things. So I like was aware of that even though I was
Mhm.
in it, and so I was like, I needed to do something different to not be a drifter, be the one
Mhm.
percent that's able to get to where I want to get to because I know God's calling me to get somewhere big, and I
Mhm.
just don't like. So I think all those little things really helped me get through it and knowing that as an athlete like I would drive through a wall to get where I wanted to get to. So in entrepreneurship like it's not that hard like compared
Mhm.
to cold plunge 3 workouts in a day this that and the other. Like I'm just like it shouldn't be that hard. So I think for me I was just like I know I have what it takes and I just had to continually remind myself of that and and like catch the thought, challenge the lie. So if I think, oh, like Christian, you don't, and I like re-imprint and embed the belief that I actually want to be believing. So I think all
Mhm.
that was, and what I encourage other people to do is just like realize that in these failing moments, in like throwing 20 things at the wall, whatever you end up doing, like you continually have to just keep brainwashing yourself into believing that even if you're not
Mhm.
there yet. And it's like that visualization I teach my athletes in that too, is it's like being able to see it and have a clear vision and knowing that there will be a ton of obstacles.
Yep. 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 So good. So good.
Yeah.
How changed the way you see your life and entrepreneurship once you align with God?
That's a really good question. I think once I realized that God is obviously in control of my business and his money it's all his money and it's all his,
Mhm.
and he's given me these gifts I never really acquired to myself. I just got them from other incredible people that have been aligned in my life. And I think just understanding the gifts that God's given me and knowing that his will is so much better than mine and that I should just settle into that has given me so much peace. And I think it's wild because I don't even portray myself as like a I work with faith-driven athletes. Like a lot of people end up doing that. Like all my clients, I'd say 90% of them are believers. And we always pray before and after our sessions. And it's and I just see God in it every day and I see him giving me stewardship of these athletes and coaches to help them become new humans, behavior change, all that. Like I feel like he's given me that dominion and stewardship over these people that I'm
Mhm.
able to work with and help change their lives because they wouldn't be able to do it with, without God and without having a mentor. So I think God's just given me this like it's just I've just really and Russell's talked about it. He's like, business is so spiritual. It's my moral obligation to serve and give. And so I think for me, just really shifting that mindset of being like, business isn't a greedy thing, and God doesn't want us to love money, but He wants us to serve others. So I think like recognizing that and settling into the plan that God has and knowing that His is far much greater than what I have in my head, and knowing that everything that I've failed at and succeeded at in the past is a part of his plan, and I just need to succumb to that, give up, surrender to that, and know that like his way is better than mine, and that he's gonna get me to wherever he desires me to get to, as long as I'm willing to stay consistent in it and to continue to follow his plan and stay aligned with him.
Yeah. Yeah. So so good. I love it so much. This is I haven't seen like when you mentioned that like entrepreneurship is not greedy thing, right? Like entrepreneurs are the most like giving persons, I would say. Like I haven't seen
Hmm.
anybody else give more than actually like entrepreneurs.
So
Because
true. So true.
and do you know what is also in like very in like just mind blowing because once you like started thinking this like entrepreneurship way kind of thing, when you really go and start thinking deeply and looking around yourself, pretty much everything what you can see is built by entrepreneurs.
So true. Yep.
Right. So it's
Totally.
just so interesting. Like build a house. This is
Yep.
and everything is created to solve a problem.
Yep.
Everything is
Exactly.
created. So interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Yep. We gotta have a place to live. We gotta have a house. Someone needs to build a house. Oh, it's raining. It's snowing. We gotta have a place to, yeah, sit under. Yeah, absolutely. It's
Right.
all solving problems. And there's,
Privacy.
yep, exactly. Privacy. Yep. And it's all, yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah. Entrepreneurs solve problems. And the bigger problems you solve, the bigger impact and income that you make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good. So good.
So cool.
Well, I'll end it up with last question.
Yeah.
The last question is if this would be the last interview you would done,
Yep.
ever done, what would be your message to those people, to God or anybody that you would want to leave behind you?
Yeah. That's a really good question. I would say number one, get right with God. Because you're either going to hell or you're going to heaven. You're either going to be rescued or you're going to be thrown into the lake of fire. So, one, get right with God because He is the creator of all things and develop a relationship with Him. So, I would say that. I would say, two, learn to focus on what you can control and rid anything else that you can't control. I do an exercise with all my athletes. Control, can't control.
Mm-hmm.
What are the things I can control? What are the things I can't? Go burn the things you can't control. Rid yourself of
Mm-hmm.
that. There's no reason to
That's
ever
good.
think about that. It's the most simple exercise you could ever do. You could do that for every area of your life. So I would say that's massive. And then I would say three, develop a vision. If you don't have a vision and you don't know where we're going, which most people don't, and you can even clarify more, like have a plan, have a place you're going, and basically you can re-engineer it from that. I give all my athletes this thing called the MVP, and it's a document I have them go through. What are my missions? What do I want to know? What do I want to be known by on my gravestone? What is the vision of like maybe 6 months, 12 months, maybe even a little bit more than that? And then from there, what are they in microscope? I like a telescope vision. What is my microscope vision? A little bit
Yep.
closer.
Yep.
And then what are these principles that I want to align with each and every
Mm-hmm.
day?
Mm-hmm.
And like how do I want to live? So I would say vision, can and can't control, get right with God, and realize that your mess can become your message. And serving is selling. And
Mm-hmm.
there's no better way to serve your people to get them to pay because if they don't pay, they don't pay attention. So I would say, um, yeah, those would probably be my parting
Very, very
words.
cool. Love it so much. Thank you so much for being here. Where people can find you to support you, join you, anything.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say I wish I was active on social media. I'm not super active, but you can find me Christian Honer on Facebook. I probably have like 100 more friends I can accept on there, and then on Instagram, Christian V-ball. I need to figure out how to switch my name because I don't really play volleyball anymore, but that's my name on there, and that's where I'm most active and where I have my school group on there for athletes that want to get paid, and then I have my webinars I do every week and stuff like that. But that would probably be the best place to find me.
Awesome. All right. And for everybody who's listening, if there's something in you, don't ignore it. Share it with someone who needs it, subscribe, leave a review, and remember, you weren't born to follow the script. You weren't born to be free. Bye, everybody.
Woo!